Catherine O'Hara had a career that made longevity look effortless. She moved through decades of entertainment without ever losing relevance, without reinventing herself loudly, and without turning her personal life into public property. Her work spoke clearly enough on its own. That is why the news of her death on January 30, 2026 felt unsettling in a quiet, unexpected way. At 71 years old, Catherine O'Hara passed away at her home in Los Angeles following a brief illness. The confirmation came through her representative creative artists agency and was shared without dramatic language or extended explanation. The simplicity of the announcement mirrored the way she had always handled attention: direct, reserved, grounded. For many people, the shock was immediate but subdued. This was not a loss that triggered chaos. It prompted reflection. Fans did not rush to analyze, they paused, they remembered, scenes resurfaced, characters returned to mind. Performances that once made people laugh or feel understood suddenly felt more personal. Catherine O'Hara had a rare ability to feel present without being intrusive. She never needed to dominate a scene to be unforgettable. Her timing carried weight. Her expressions lingered. She trusted the audience to meet her halfway. That trust built a connection that lasted decades. As confirmation of her passing spread, attention naturally turned toward how she would be honored. Not because people expected spectacle, but because her influence had been so widely felt. Questions followed. Would there be a public farewell? Would fans be invited? Would colleagues from film and television gather in a visible tribute? The family's response arrived gently and with clarity. According to her obituary shared by her representative, a private celebration of life would be held. The words were chosen carefully. Private, celebration, life. It was not described as a public memorial or a large service. It was framed as something intimate, shaped by those who knew her personally. That decision aligned closely with how Catherine O'Hara lived outside of her work. While she was generous with her talent, she was protective of her private world. She rarely offered details about her health, her home life, or her struggles. She believed in boundaries and she honored them consistently. Emergency services were called to her Los Angeles residence early that morning. She was later transported to a hospital in serious condition. Beyond that, the family has chosen not to release additional medical information. Her cause of death remains unknown. This has not been framed as secrecy, it has been framed as respect. Rather than invite speculation, the family has drawn a clear line. The story they wish to share is not about the final moments of her life, but about the life itself. Catherine O'Hara's career was marked by range and discipline. She was equally comfortable in broad comedy and restrained emotional work. She could lead a scene or quietly transform it from the edges. Colleagues often described her as prepared, thoughtful, and deeply attentive to the people around her. Her later work on Schitt's Creek introduced her to a new generation, yet she approached that success without changing her rhythm. She accepted recognition without leaning into it. Awards followed, but she never treated them as proof of worth. They were acknowledgments, not motivations. As the years progressed, she became more selective. She chose projects carefully. She stepped back when needed. There was no announcement signaling a shift, no formal goodbye to the industry. She simply adjusted her pace. That same measured approach now defines how her farewell is being handled. The private celebration of life will not include press access. There will be no cameras, no public schedule, no release of a guest list. Attendance will be limited to family, close friends, and select individuals from her professional life who shared genuine personal relationships with her. This approach is not exclusionary, it is intentional. Questions about celebrity attendance emerged quickly, as they often do when someone of her stature passes away. The family has not confirmed names, no official list exists. What has been made clear is that attendance is based on connection, not recognition. Some former collaborators and longtime colleagues are expected to attend privately, not as public figures, not as symbols, but as people who shared real time and trust with her. There will be no red carpet, no acknowledgement of who is present, no effort to turn the gathering into a moment of visibility. Those who attend will do so quietly without announcement. Not everyone associated with Catherine O'Hara's career will be there, and that absence should not be misread. Distance, health, scheduling, and personal choice all play a role. An invitation does not imply obligation. Absence does not imply distance or disregard. In an industry where attendance is often treated as symbolic, this farewell rejects symbolism altogether. It prioritizes sincerity over display. Throughout this period, the family has remained largely out of public view. There have been no extended interviews, no detailed statements beyond what was necessary, no effort to shape a narrative. This restraint reflects the way Catherine O'Hara herself handled public attention when the cameras were off. Grief for the family is not something to be performed, it is something to be lived privately. Catherine O'Hara's final public appearance took place in September 2025 at the Emmy Awards. She was nominated for Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series for her role on The Studio and for Guest Actress in a Drama Series for The Last of Us. She attended the event alongside her husband, Bob Welch, appearing composed and calm. At the time, nothing about the evening suggested it would be her last appearance. She walked the red carpet, acknowledged the moment, and moved on quietly. Earlier this year, she chose not to attend another major awards ceremony despite receiving nominations. No explanation was offered, it was simply a choice. Behind the scenes, Catherine O'Hara had long managed personal health challenges without drawing attention to them. Reports later indicated that she lived with a rare condition involving the placement of her internal organs. This was not widely discussed during her life. She did not frame it as a defining feature, she simply adapted. In the days leading up to her passing, emergency dispatch audio later revealed that she had been experiencing breathing difficulty before help arrived. These details emerged carefully without sensational framing. They offered context, not conclusions. The family has not connected these details publicly. They have not provided interpretation. They have not invited analysis. Their focus has remained consistent. Details regarding her burial have not been publicly disclosed. The family has chosen to keep that information private. There has been speculation about where she may be laid to rest, given her connection to Los Angeles and her broader personal history. At this time, there is no confirmation. Those close to the family describe the burial plans as deeply personal, not a destination, not a public site, a moment intended only for those closest to her. As of now, there is no confirmed public memorial. The family has not ruled out a future tribute, but any such decision would be made without pressure and on their own timeline. Catherine O'Hara's legacy does not depend on ceremony. Her work continues to resonate. Her characters remain part of cultural memory. She influenced comedy not through volume but through precision. She showed that restraint could be powerful, that subtlety could endure, that attention did not need to be demanded to be earned. Her final farewell reflects those values, quiet, intentional, rooted in authenticity rather than display. She is not being remembered through spectacle, she is being remembered through connection, through the work she left behind, through the people who knew her beyond the screen. Catherine O'Hara's final chapter is unfolding without excess, without performance, and in that stillness it feels complete. Not as a public figure seeking recognition, but as a life honored with care, privacy, and dignity.